selling direct, by which I mean you, the artist, the photographer, selling directly to your end customer. You retain the data on your end customer such that you are able to market to that customer in perpetuity. Many people, the way that the industry worked traditionally forever, it was people that did not retain this information. They sold through galleries, or maybe they did the show and their circuit, but they weren't the best at keeping up with these people and marketing to them in perpetuity. I got this book that I cite all the time, and it's by Weiland. Weiland is the whale guy. Okay, and don't worry, I'm going to send you links to this. But he wrote this book. He sells it directly on his website. He's depending on who you talk to, he's the #1 selling artist in the entire United States, probably even the world, to be honest with you, because of his business model and what he's done. And he talks in that book about this concept called a collector list. Okay, and for Weiland, a collector list are buyers of his art that sell or that buy in upwards of 7+ pieces over the course of a lifetime. And he treats this collector list like VIP. They are his collectors might as well be staying in the Four Seasons. He reaches out. He gives them special access to things. He likes their social media posts, and he continues to build that list. Okay, and fundamentally, it is one of the single solitary most important things any art or photography business can have. Collectors surface, you market to them in perpetuity, your prices continue to go up, they go along for the ride. Some of these people will buy in upwards of 20 and 30 and 40 pieces throughout the course of your life. And if you are not building that list, it's sort of like you're working a job and you're not putting any money away in a retirement account. It's almost like a 401k that just pays every single solitary year. And I can go into some detailed examples, but the goal is you come out with a new series. You have a show, right? Whether it's a photographic series or it's the series that you painted. You'll start out, and your collector list will maybe buy 2% of the show or 5% of the show, and your goal is just to build that list such that the percentage of the work that they buy goes up and up and up. And I've seen customers that I've worked with recently where 40 to 50% of the show is bought before anyone even sees it by their collectors, just gone. So you created 20 pieces, 10 are gone instantaneously because you have been cultivating a collector list, because you understand the business model. Okay. And it is, I mean, we're going to get into it, but it is so fundamental. And I've been doing this for a long time now. Okay. I've talked to a lot of people, and it breaks my damn heart because on a regular basis, people are coming on these calls. Okay. And they're in their late 40s, late 50s, late 60s, late 70s. They are at the top of their game. They have honed their craft to the greatest it's ever going to be. And guess what? They didn't understand the business model. And guess what? They didn't keep a collector list. And so guess what? The pandemic hit and all their offline revenue sources, poof, are gone. And they're coming on this call and they're going, Patrick, and this is how I envisioned it. They had the corner office, floor to ceiling windows, the giant executive desk, the big leather chair. And I'm telling them, I'm sorry, you're out of there and you have to go back to the mailroom and you're pushing the cart because you did not cultivate this list. Okay. You did not keep a collector list. You did not work on your marketing. You did not understand the business model. What do you have now? You have nothing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Wait the pandemic out? Like half the galleries are closed. The ones that are still open are renegotiating the split from 50-50 to 60-40 because they have 100 different artists that they want to pick from. Go back on the show and their circuit. That's wonderful. That does not pay if it's not at 100% attendance. How long is it going to take for the show and their circuit to get back to 100% attendance? We don't know, but it's not going to be instantaneous, right? So really passionate about the business model, really passionate about the collector list. I think the minute you understand that, boy, are you in a great place. Boy, are you in a great place. You're building it. It takes time. Okay. That's the outer shell. The inside of the block, 3 ways to sell art. There are 3 ways to sell art. Okay. Every single solitary artist, my argument, and photographer needs to understand the 3 ways to sell art and needs to be applying them in their business. Number 1, best way to sell art. Trick question of sorts. Everyone knows the best way to sell art. It's in person, face to face. It always has been. It always will be. Okay. In person, face to face is the best way to sell art. Anytime you have the ability, my voice is just going weird today. Anytime you have the ability to sell art that way, you do that. Problem, we are all of us geographically fixed on this planet. We all have to sleep. We can't have 15 conversations at once. So the third way to sell art, and I say third because it's the least important, is via your website. You absolutely have to have a website. The website solves for these problems when you're asleep, 15 people at a time, and for many of the geographic problems. The second way to sell art, okay, the newest way to sell art, the one the entire art selling world is trying to figure out right now, the greatest advancement in selling art since forever is exactly what we're doing right now. It is selling art via live video in either a one-to-one fashion or a one-to-many fashion. A one-to-one fashion, I go to Antonio's website. Antonio, these pieces are very interesting. What is that one behind you? I would like to buy it. Can we talk about it? Antonio goes, Patrick, no problem. Let me set up a Zoom call with you. I'll show you a couple of pieces and we can talk about it. I can get to know you. That is the one-to-one fashion. The one-to-many fashion, okay, which is mega interesting as well, is this concept of a live art show, okay? And if my, what am I doing? There we go. So I have a couple examples of this I'm going to show. This is a painter in his garage studio. He has some works that he's trying to sell. He is streaming this to Instagram. He is streaming this to Facebook. He's streaming it to YouTube. He is holding the works up. He's talking about them. People can leave comments. They can purchase them. This is one particular type of these sales. This is a customer and a good friend of ours named Matthew Locke. We've run a number of these different initiatives with him. In addition, okay, to this concept of doing it in your studio, what happens if you have an actual show? He had an actual show in the middle of the pandemic. Now, attendance was limited. A bunch of people couldn't travel, so the attendance of the show was light. He still sold a bunch of stuff. The day after the show, what do? We turn the cameras on. He grabs a glass of wine, wears this ridiculous sleeveless shirt. I always make fun of him for the sleeveless shirts. I can't help it. I think it's funny. And what is he doing? He's walking through the show, and you notice people are leaving comments. We're highlighting the comments. He's walking through the show. He's explaining each of the pieces. Okay. So my point in showing this is the new, and I've got another one here too. I can rattle through so many examples. This is crazy, but this is absolutely the future of selling art. It is the next best way. And when we contemplate, let me mute this, but I'll just give you something to stare at while I rant here. You know, if selling art in person, face to face, is the best way to sell art, then okay, everything that we do digitally tries to get as close as possible to that. Okay, and what would be the conversation? They can buy the art. For all the people that can't geographically do that, the next best way is this via live video. Again, one-to-one or one-to-many, a group show, right? And it's so close to the real thing. It's amazing. You don't have to leave your hometown. They get to know you. They get to interact with you. They feel like they have a bond with the artist. It is the future, full stop. And what's interesting is the entire world is trying to figure this out right now. Okay. The entire art selling world is trying to figure it out. Your industry doesn't have a lot of reports. There's two big ones. Okay. There is the Art Market 2021 report. They do one of these each year. It's from Art Basel and UBS. I'm going to send you links to the report. I want you to read it. It's amazing. It's incredible. The disclaimer on it is these guys report on the top 1% of the art selling market, right? Like the highest of the high end, the Sotheby's, I always forget the other ones. Sotheby's and I can't remember what the other one is. Anyway, the top auction houses in Christie's, the top auction houses and the top art selling dealers and the top galleries and stuff. But the report is still very, very relevant. Okay. And the link we'll send you. You can download the entire report, which I recommend you do. I think you'll find it really insightful. But they have these key findings too, which is like this snazzy little web page they built to talk about it. And so I can go in here, I can explore this thing. They've got some lovely little graphs. But you read this report, and what they call it, and I'll quote, Chapter 5 looks at the online art market and the rapid evolution in sales in 2021. The chapter shows how the dealer sector shifted sales online in 2020 and the development of online viewing rooms, OVRs. Do you know what online viewing rooms are? A snooty way to talk about a Zoom call, okay? A snooty way to talk about exactly what we are doing right here, right now. So this is the future of how to sell art in an incredible, incredible fashion. I always feel like a bit of a Yahoo to share numbers, but I'm going to share numbers because it's going to give this whole entire thing some teeth, okay? So Matthew Locke, longtime customer, great friend, normally does the full dog and pony gallery shows. In the middle, so this was on June 9th, 2020. He did 2 of these over a 15-day period. He sold 62 pieces for a little bit over $30,000 Canadian from his basement No 50-50 split, direct, didn't have to leave. This is his garage studio. It's where he paints. Didn't even leave his living room. This gal, Meg, also a customer, she was moving studios, legitimately moving studios from one studio to another. This was about a month ago that we ran this. And, you know, just to underscore my collector list, okay, this particular sale was teased on a Friday. On Monday, she emailed her collector list. Her collector list bought 46% of the show. She sold a little bit less than, I think, 76 different pieces for $15,000. Now, the pieces in this particular show were like the color studies, right? They weren't like the full buttoned up pieces. I'm trying to get to one where she's actually holding one. You know, there were color studies, there were sketches, there were smaller works, right? You know, stuff that was just involved in it. But the point is, this is absolutely the future. It is such an incredible way to sell art and photography. The entire world is trying to figure it out. You know, you get people using various different, you know, at the snooty end, it's OVRs, online viewing rooms, or the art fairs and shows that are trying to keep the booth deposits. What's their line that they love? We're going to have a virtual art show, right? Everyone is trying to figure this out right now. I do not know what floor this particular elevator is going to go to. My guess is it's going to go very, very, very high. What I'm saying is right now, this elevator is on the ground floor and the doors haven't even closed yet. The whole world's trying to figure this out. And there is so much tradecraft to it. I can't even begin to tell you. You know, this particular Zoom call, I have all you guys in a Zoom call right now, right? This is also being streamed to 2 YouTube channels, to a Facebook channel, to Twitter, all at once, all simultaneously. Everyone is trying to figure this out, and it is the most effective way to sell art, period. And so, step one is becoming aware of it. Step two is starting to practice it and put it into practice. And I guarantee there's probably not a single solitary person on this call that is doing it. And, you know, people ask, what is it that you do at Art Storefronts? We teach our customers how to sell art and photography in the most advanced ways possible. And because I don't care, 90%, I tell people these things, 90% of the people will never, ever even do it. So I don't even care to give away the tradecraft. I'll give away the tradecraft right now. So my sleeveless associate here, Matthew, is using wireless Apple AirPods connected to his iPhone, which has this stream going out live on Instagram. We are leveraging software that is streaming it, that's putting in this little title here, right? And his logo and, you know, the banner at the bottom to inquire, and it's pulling the comments in. So cell phone, earpods connected to Instagram on the phone, laptop, computer, Facebook, personal Facebook, YouTube account, all of that simultaneously. And you can see there's numbers here. If the number 2 thing goes away, he's even got little numbers here. Why? Because the people on Instagram can't see the graphics that we have on the screen. And so they need to know, okay, was that number 2 or number 3? You can't really see it, but it's like right behind here. There's like a little thing. Yeah, there it is. See, number 5. And we're on number 5. So everyone knows. There's a million little things like that. What is the best combination of the technology? How do you announce it? What do you do during the course? And don't worry, I'm going to send you guys, excuse me, I'm going to send you these shows after the fact so you can watch them and pick up what you like. But this is absolutely the future, you guys, and it is completely changing the game. And you don't need to leave your house, and there are no booth fees, and there's no loading up the car and driving somewhere and staying in some crappy hotel and eating crappy food and then hoping you're going to see an ROI. There is no limit to the amount that you can run. It is the most uh, uh, beneficial use, highest ROI use of an artist or photographer's time I could even imagine right now. It's not even close. And again, whole world's trying to figure it out. So those are the 3 ways to sell art. I got to get back to my pyramid. Bear with me. You have to be running all 3, and you have to be doing all 3 consistently all year long. So we start by constantly gathering attention. We start by recognizing the business model, collector list, as well as the 3 ways to sell art. Then we get to the top of the pyramid, which is everything else. What do I mean, everything else? You have a brick and mortar gallery that's working out for you, that's bringing in revenue to your business. Fantastic. We love revenue. I have never met a revenue source I don't like. Keep it going. But it's in addition, okay, not in lieu of working on attention, not in lieu of working on the 3 ways to sell art and building your own collector list. What if it's an online gallery? Maybe it's Saatchi or Fine Art America or Redbubble or Etsy or any of the others. Is it bringing in revenue? Fantastic. I've never met a revenue source I don't like, but it's in addition to everything else, okay? It's in addition to getting your own attention. It's in addition to the 3 ways of selling art. So too If you're doing the show and therapy circuit, we love the show and therapy circuit. It's fantastic. I can't wait for it to come back. It is a great way to build attention, but it's in addition to those two. You understand this pyramid, okay? You start working on this pyramid, and you are going to be on the path towards building a successful art or photography business. You don't, and you don't control the rules. You do not control the stakes. You can have the rug ripped out from underneath you at any point in time, which I've seen again and again and again on these calls. And one of the things that no one talks about, okay, and does not get mentioned enough. 3 of these a week for a year and a half, okay? It's not hyperbole. That many of them. Every single solitary week, there are people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and I would say once every 2 weeks, somebody in their 90s comes in on these calls asking questions. And so, why do I bring that up? Understand the perspective of how long you guys are going to be artists and photographers selling your art or photography, okay? You guys don't go through midlife crises. Doesn't happen to creatives. You don't decide all of a sudden you're going to stop being a painter and you're going to go rent jet skis in Florida for the summer and that's going to be your job, okay? So when you have the perspective figured out that you are going to be working at this for the rest of your life into your 90s in many cases, it underscores how important it is to understand this pyramid, to start working on this pyramid. And guess what? It's not going to be easy at first if you're just getting started. It's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm looking at Rick there, and Rick, if you have not been building that list the entire time, when I'm telling you have to learn how to email market and social media market, and you need to start doing it on a regular basis, that could be frustrating, but it's not frustrating when you got another 25 years of growth in this doggone business. So what does Art Storefronts do at the end of the day? We teach you how to do the pyramid. Yeah, we give you a website. And yeah, we put you into a university where there's no graduates because the learning never stops. That's really, in a nutshell, who we are, what we do. All right, thanks guys for indulging me on that, saving my voice. Independent of everything that I just said on there. Really, what Art Storefronts does, the longer I go through this, the more that I realize is we're just a trainer, right? If you think in like the workout context, we're just a trainer. And what else? Like you contrast that to, okay, let's say if I was a trainer and instead of actually using my services, I just took the workout and I posted it online. Here's the workout. Here's what you need to do 3 days a week. Go and do it.
Hey guys, give us 1 minute. I think Patrick is away. He'll be right back.
Thanks, Juan.
There you go.
I was sitting there talking the whole time. I didn't even
were
realize.
muted.
And I didn't even realize I was muted. That's embarrassing. Thank you, Juan. Sorry about that, guys. What does Art Storefronts do at the end of the day? We're essentially just a trainer. That's it. So the more I do this, the more I realize we're just a trainer. And I don't know if you've ever worked out with a trainer or not, but if I was a trainer and I posted the workouts online, how many people would actually do them 3 days a week, right? Go run stairs, go do this, go run 3 miles, time it, Point is, no one ever does it. No one ever pushes themselves on their own. You hire a trainer to not just show you what to do in terms of a workout, but to scream and yell and poke and prod and take your money and keep you accountable, right? And so many of you guys so sadly need that, like, because you've never marketed consistently, right? Like the biggest art selling time of the year kind of starts in 11 days, starts fourth quarter. And back in the day, we used to live in a civilized society where Black Friday sales would actually start the day after Thanksgiving. And then the next thing you know, somebody moved their sale up the week and then 15 people copied them. And now like October starts and pretty much everything is on sale all the way until the end of the year. And it's the single solitary best art selling time of the entire year. And how many of you guys had a sale in the water last year? How many of you guys did actually any active marketing last year or engaged in a focused Q4 marketing effort of any kind? It's almost none of you, right? No one ever does it. No one ever does it. You need a trainer. You need someone to screen and yell and keep you accountable. So that's really what we do at the end of the day. That's sort of the abstraction. But I'll open it up to Q&A. How do you do it? If you're one of the brave ones like Jane, Darren, Bill, Mark, appreciate you guys, that has your camera on. If you guys have a question and you want to raise your hand, we'll see that and I can say, okay, Jane, I got you. Mark, I got you. For everybody else, if you look at the bottom of your Zoom window, okay, there's this like reactions icon. You can click that and you can raise your hand digitally. And what that does is that kind of gives me a cue of like, hey, this person's up next and they have a question, right? And sorry, I realize there's more of you with your cameras on. So any of you guys want to raise your hands, you can. And then if you don't want to turn your camera on, you don't have to turn your camera on. I hate being on video. And if for any reason you want to just throw the question in the chat, you can do that too. And I will do the best to fight through the whole thing with my scratchy voice. And we'll start with you, Jane, then we'll go to you, Mark, and then I see the hands that are raised, and we'll go through that. So go ahead, Jane, you're up first. You'll have to unmute. I'll let you know when you get it.
Okay, you
Gotcha.
unmuted me. Could you talk just a minute or two more on how you draw attention to yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit of everything, right? Like we have a pretty comprehensive program, but here's the easiest way to talk about it broadly. One, I have to teach you how to market in a macro. Okay, one, I have to teach you how to capture emails, and there's ways that you capture emails online, and there's ways that you do it offline. There's a lot of tricks that we run with print giveaways. Okay, once you're capturing emails consistently, that never stops. Then I also need to teach you to send emails, how often to send them, what frequency you need to send them, what type of language do you use in it when you send them, and going through that entire process. Then I have to teach you to be able to omni-channel market. And omni-channel market is essentially when you send an email, that messaging needs to dovetail with the messaging in your social media posts, Facebook and Instagram, and also your email message, what you have running on your site. That's called omni-channel marketing. You need to learn how to do that consistently. I have to teach you how to run a sale when the time is right. And there's a lot of mechanics to running a sale. There's how you tease a sale, how you announce a sale, how you contemplate the discount. What type of scarcity do you have? How long does the deal run? What do you do during, before, or after the sale? Then I have to teach you how to run live art shows. And then I have to get you doing all of that consistently, which is however many hours you have to give this project, 52 weeks in a year, right? So it's all of that together. And I realize, well, you're like, well, what am I going to be doing? You would literally be doing all of that. When you're saying, well, how would I be getting new emails? A lot of it is just marketing on the socials intelligently. A lot of it centers around print giveaways, like I said, but we have some other little tricks and tactics and such that we do. The reality is that for selling art or photography, Facebook and Instagram are the two highest ROI platforms by far. So you have to be on both of them. Those are just the rules.
Okay. Could I ask another question?
Please, that's what they're for.
If you have pieces that you think are valuable and you want to sell them and for $10,000 and up,
yep.
Do you suggest that maybe the artists make a giclée of certain good paintings so that you can sell them for much less?
I do. G-clays of any sites, like I'm very cognizant of price point variability, having variation in your price points. So like, if I came into your store and the cheapest thing in your store was $10,000, well, then you're excluding a whole heck of a lot of people, right? Like yeah. I take the very long view of this business, and when you've been in this business for any period of time, you realize the easiest customer to get is the one that you already have, right? The easiest customer to get is the one that you already have, i.e. repeat business. And what I see a lot of people doing is I'm only going to offer originals, and my price points are only going to start at $5,000, $7,500, $10,000, whatever it is. And the problem is when you start doing consistent marketing, there is a universal truth. Despite the fact that everyone on this call would just like to know how to market to the high net worth individuals, right? You ever heard that one? How do I market to the high net worth individuals? That makes me laugh every single solitary time I hear it. If everybody in the world wants nothing but the high net worth individuals, which everyone does aside from the 99-cent stores, how hard do you think that is? Makes it very difficult, right? Your followers, once you start marketing, my followers at Art Storefronts, James is here, Harris is here, they fall into a bell curve, okay? And the bell curve is a socioeconomic bell curve. On the very bottom of it, you have the low socioeconomic status. They're never going to buy anything. They can't afford to buy anything from you, but they'll like and they'll comment and they'll share and they'll tell their friends. And then you have the lower middle class, upper middle class, high net worth individuals, right? And if you don't have the price points for the lower middle class and the middle class folks, then your work never ends up on their walls. And if your work never ends up on their walls, you will never be top of mind to these people. And guess what happens? You're marketing to these people, and you just sold a piece to somebody for $200, and they put it on their wall. And you know what? They're lower middle class folks. They could not afford your original, saved their life. But you have the perspective of how long you're going to be in this business and time. And because you sold me something for $200, it sat in my bathroom. It sits in my bathroom for the next 8 years. After that time, I'm no longer a low income person. I'm now a high income person, and I'm going to outfit my vacation house. And because your art was on my wall, I'm now coming to you to get some originals. That's how it goes. And so I think you need to have the price point variability. So yes, if G Clays helps you get there, 100% I want you selling G Clays. Prince.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, next up was, hold on, was Mark. After Mark, I'll go through the list, but I know Mark was second. Okay, go ahead, Mark. You're up next. You have to unmute, Mark. Bottom left-hand corner. Yep,
I
gotcha.
did it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had to pull the switch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very informative. It's my second webinar I've watched on our storefront.
Cool.
I watched the first time. I'm really watching because I'd like to get my wife up on it because she's really got some great art, I think, and I've seen and comparatively, I think it competes and has a space here with the other artists that are on that I've seen.
Mhm.
Of course, she doesn't want to invest the money to get into this because she hasn't seen it, and she doesn't really believe in herself, the commercial abilities, and she does the art because she wants to do the art. She gets self pleasure out of it,
Mhm.
and but she gets better and she's creative now. So I was looking at the $2,700 option, and so much money a month, and she says, no, 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 no. What happens if you get started? Can you get some traction going so you can move up the ladder with the three different platforms?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, 100%. And you can upgrade or downgrade at any point in time. But hearing what you hear, I hear where you're at, I hear where she's at. Here's my concern, okay? Is independent of the package, she needs to make the mental commitment to do the marketing, right? Unless you're going to help her with it, I don't know. But
I would help her with it.
You have to write the check mentally that you're going to do that for a couple of years, because that's where the traction comes in, right? And that's why no one makes it, because everyone quits before they start doing any of it. So that focus and having her bought in and having her excited about that is critical in my estimation for you to see the ROI on your investment. And then what's interesting about the bigger plans that we've charged, and my buddy's dad is a pastor, and he used to always have this line like, where you place your wallet, you place your heart, right? And he was using it in the context of like, this is why you want to donate to these causes, because it's going to make you closer to these causes, make you a better person, whatever. What's really interesting about our deal size and how much bigger it is than any of the other outfits out there, and we can get into all the reasons why, when you do the good size ones, you're essentially burning your boat. You know what I mean? You're like, there's no way in hell I'm not making this work if I just plopped all that money down to do this, right? Like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have a high motivation level. So I think that helps on things too. But again, my biggest fear for you, and it's something you got to check, is like, if you want it and she doesn't want it, is she ever going to do any of the marketing work? Because it's got to be done, and a lot of it's got to be on video, and she's got to be the one doing it. And now we will help, okay, provide all the motivation in the world, but I feel like, you definitely have to get her buy-in, right?
Oh yeah, I understand that. I mean, I can't. She's the artist.
Yeah.
I can do a lot of the work.
Yeah.
I can shoot photography and put it on there. I do commercial work, but the thing is, she's really got a lot of juice, and when she's motivated, she's a machine, and she gets great pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
So, but she doesn't want to go on camera, but she's got to understand,
Oh, Mark,
cause and effect.
prior to the pandemic, okay, I have a face for radio, number one. Okay. Number two, prior to the pandemic, like, let's just say February, and I've been working for like going on 6 years now. You never once saw me in a single solitary video. Now, podcast, sure, I had a huge podcast, okay, and I would make videos without my face on it. I hate being on video. I hate it. But I'm contrarian enough to read the writing on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, the die is cast. This is the most effective way to communicate and sell art and photography that I've ever seen. I've been doing this a long time, and I've got the data. And so you have to just change with the times, right? Like, you have to be contrarian about it. And trust me, I know everyone is absolutely terrified about it. I get it, but it is so critically important. And to be honest with you, what a phenomenal tool to be able to leverage, because you don't have to leave your house. And you don't have to go into a gallery, and you don't have to do a 50-50 split, and you don't have to drive somewhere and go set up the booth so you can talk to hundreds of people. You can do it from your living room, right? And that's insane. That's like just staggeringly powerful. So yeah, we have to convince her otherwise. And I know it's not easy, but we got plans. We have plans for that.
Okay, and back to getting over that hurdle.
Mhm.
I asked though about getting started on the lower rung and then moving up. Can you get success by just getting your feet in the water and
Yes,
getting
yes,
started?
yes, 100%. Yes,
Yes. Okay.
yes.
Well, then that's good because that gets your toe in the water, and now you got to work it. If you
Yep.
work it and you go to the next size up, because I believe the type of work she does would do well with the interior design function in the top level,
Mm-hmm.
where people could actually size the art, because we have gigapixel images of it.
Yeah.
So instead of and also, this is another thing, we could create gigapixel images of her art so it could be blown up in high resolution.
Yep.
We've got that capability. So in that case, we're not selling the original, we're selling something that fits. Does that work?
Yeah, it's less important than you think early on. Early on, the only thing that matters is getting more and more eyeballs and attention to the work, right? Which is the marketing problem, which is the one every single solitary person has. And so my guess is that if you're helping her and you get on and you guys both start hitting it and attacking it, 6 months in, you'll start getting wins. 9 months in, the wins will start getting a little bit bigger. And then what that'll do is it'll end up like filling her with energy, filling up her emotional reserves and tank. And then maybe you get her fully committed and going. And that's probably what it would look like usually. But how much art has she sold offline previous to everything else?
Zero.
Zero.
She's a marketing director for a major architectural engineering firm.
Okay.
We're publishers. We published 4 periodicals. We've had beautiful magazines that we did. We
Mhm.
got out of that with the death of magazines.
Yeah.
So that's her there.
Yep.
So we've sold a lot of stuff, but not her original art.
Yeah.
So this is all new, and she doesn't believe in herself enough that she wants to invest, but I do.
Got it. Well, that's why you guys are a good partnership. So.
Well, I thank you for that. I don't need to monopolize your time, but that's a good point.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Well, also too, I want you coming in to win.
Yeah,
like
I believe you.
Yeah,
I believe you.
Yeah. It's one of the fun things about what I got to do is like, I don't have to give a heavy sales pitch. I don't want to give a heavy sales pitch. I want to see people succeed. And when you have the perspective, it's so key, right? Like, first year is going to suck. I have to teach you how to market. That's going to be pulling your hair out of your head on some stuff. It is for all artists and photographers for the most part, because you never run sales consistently. You've never done consistent marketing ever, right? But you learn it, you get better. You run your first live art show, you're terrified, you get better. And it's how it goes. And it's like, look, there's no other easy way to do this. Like, the opportunity is phenomenal if you can do it, but it doesn't mean year 1, year 2 are easy, right? You still have to build a business like everyone else. This is just part and parcel of it. But we stacked the deck for you, I'll tell you that much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. All right, CG, go ahead. And look at this. I even have the phone pulled up to show you what you need to do. Are you unmuted? Let's see this. Are you there? Okay, look at this. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Hold on. Is it going to pull up or no? Okay. Do you see?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, do you see this? You got like the speaker.
Hold on, let me change my view. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Just watch the screen. Do you see my view?
Wait a second here. What a cluster I am making here.
CG was on this call on Friday and she ran a live art show. She's trying to figure out how to get it into Instagram. So look at my phone. Watch me. And you install this on your iPad. Okay. You go right into Instagram. Hold on. Let me get out.
Yeah, no, I did, and it didn't work.
So you came in here, you went down this bottom right-hand corner profile button, then you press the plus button at the top, and then you did IGTV video, and then you just select whatever the video is.
But this is a pre-recorded video.
Yeah, it's fine. It's sitting in the iPad.
Let me see if I can make it how do I just get you on speaker view? Hold on, give me 1 sec.
I'll make this video and I'll send it to you, but just watch again. Okay. So when you open up Instagram, it puts you into this view. Okay. Then there's an icon in the bottom right-hand corner, which gets you to your profile. Okay. Then you press the plus icon, IGTV video. Then you can select, look at this one. This one's 25 minutes. Can't post this video because it's one video must between 1 and 15 minutes long. How long did you say yours is? 19?
Mine is 17, but the thing is IGTV. No, but it will. IGTV, if you don't do it from a phone, if you do it from a browser, will allow you to post up to an hour. And the thing is, on the iPad.
Yeah. You can do it on the browser, and I forgot about that. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but the thing is, on the iPad, the IGTV option does not show up.
Ah.
There is no see, this is it. We have, and literally with a friend, who does this kind of stuff, who hadn't been working with an iPad, and we had 15 hours together. I'm so proud of myself, because as soon as I got off the phone with you, I just moved stuff out of the room. Just, it was there. You do it in the moment.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased. It was brilliant. It
Wonderful.
was really great.
Wonderful. And I want to see it. So here's what you'll do. And I'll email you this. You're going to have to just download the YouTube app. This is just the next easiest way. It's YouTube. It's easy. And then you're going to upload it to YouTube, and then you can download it on a computer out of YouTube, and you can put it wherever you want.
Can you say that again, please?
I'm gonna email you, but just download the YouTube app in the App Store. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then upload it to YouTube. It might make you create an account, but it's fine. You need to have one anyway.
So okay, can you say it one more time? I'm just so brain dead at this point. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yep, it's okay. I'll put it right here in the chat for you so you can see it. Download YouTube from the App Store. Create an account. And they'll walk you through it. Upload the video. Simple. Done.
And then, so that means the world's going to see it, correct?
You can leave it on unlisted if you like, but what that's going to let you do is then after it's off your iPad, then you can just download it and then to a computer and then upload it to YouTube. See what I'm saying?
But will I lose it from the iPad entirely?
No.
So it'll still be on the iPad as well as on YouTube. I'm going to email you from another email address also, because in all of my mess of papers and everything all over the floor trying to get this done, up until this morning, I had my new password. Now I can't find it.
Okay. All right. Well,
so,
find it. The most important is that you did it, right?
Yeah. And not only that, I selected 9 pieces for that. And I also ended up, as a result of that, realizing, because I could use transparencies, another, to make like 22, 23. And then I located all of my paper files on former clients. So there's the email. So I was able, so I've done a lot since we've spoken, but I'm just disappointed because it had a date stamp on it. You can
redo it though. You can redo it. You can redo that and just record the whole thing live, and then it'll change the game.
Yeah, it was just that it was natural. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I wasn't thinking.
You're gonna be running 1,000 of them. And for everyone else, so we challenged her to run a live. She was on the Friday session. I challenged her to run a live art show. I want you to run a live art show today, and she ran one. And she's trying to send it so that we can take a look at it. And she's having tech issues, so that's where we're at. But okay, email me.
And I created an Instagram account, which I've never had before. So speaking of coming out of hiding.
Yeah, the baby steps are happening. Baby steps are happening.
God bless you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Email me. It's one of the fun things that we do on Friday. I was like, CG, you're gonna run an art show. You're gonna run an art show right now, today. And she started getting all nervous, and she's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And she did it. So there you go. Forward steps. I love it. But okay, what else, guys? Questions for anyone else that is on? Can be about anything. I can only pick on the ones that have the cameras on. So all right, James, good. I like it. Way to step up.
Stepping up.
There you go.
Stepping up. Okay. So as a photographer, I'm curious. I'm on another platform, and obviously we upload our photos to these platforms. With your platform, are we uploading photos to sell and then aligning them with stores that are going to be doing the printing? I mean, how does that work? Similar? Yeah.
And
go on.
Yeah, anyways, I should mention too, because I wasn't exactly clear about this. Normally I do the whole first part live and I say this, but sort of the video that we covered at the beginning, I feel like you really need to agree with that business model in terms of like, that's how you make it in this business. And so it kind of sits before you see everything and all that we do. Then we do the demo process, right? And the demo process is like a 1-hour test drive of the software, the solution, everything that goes on. It's a private Zoom call tailored to you. And because they go an hour, we do them via one-on-one rather. So that's the demo process, how you actually see everything. I should have said that because then it's like, well, wait a minute, where the hell is the software? I don't understand. I'm not seeing any of it. But I can answer your question practically. So when you say you're on another platform, it sounds like you're on a marketplace, right? Where they're selling the work for you. You just uploaded everything and they sell it. Is that correct?
No.
Oh, so you're on your,
I
it's
mean,
your own website.
I'm using Zenfolio, so
Yeah.
you know, it's still me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing that, but there's no marketing really involved with it at all.
No, you're not doing any. So with us, yeah, I mean, you upload everything and it lands in a store, right? And then let me see if I can get this pulled up. I can show you a website. Excuse me, guys. My throat is just killing me today. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, so you upload everything, and then it just puts your art into a store. You know, like any other, right? Like not necessarily like any other. Art's a little bit different, and you've got all these tools and bells and whistles. But you know,
Right.
I don't even care to show the website at all because none of you guys have a website problem, right? Like if I snatched your business right off of Zenfolio right now and I uploaded the entire thing for free to Art Storefronts, what would change? Not a damn thing. Nothing would change in your business because you don't have a website problem. You have a marketing problem, right? You have no eyeballs coming to your Zenfolio site. It's not going to change if we just move it to an Art Storefront site. Like we got to fix the real problem, right? If we don't fix the real problem, the business is never going to grow.
Correct.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. Of course.
But nobody ever wants to fix the real problem, right? Like that's the one thing I noticed. I have so many of these calls and I talk to so many different artists and photographers, and the way that I sort of look at it is like,
I think it also, I mean, for some of us, because obviously, you know, I haven't given up my day job. And you know, I look at the time investment and obviously I get that it is a large time investment. Approximate for me. I mean, to make this run successfully, what are you seeing with people that are success?
It's a crystal ball question, right? So I'll have to fix you on the crystal ball question, but 80% of our customers still have full-time jobs. 80%. So like that's how it goes, right?
I'm about to retire too, but that's another story.
Yeah. No, but the question's good. It's totally a good one. I get it all the time, and it's like the problem with the question is the premise underpinning the question is that there's some sort of magical formula that works for everyone that is going to be completely indicative of like how you turn out, and nothing could be further from the truth, right? Like I've seen everything. I've seen huge customers, small customers, in between, people that take forever to see an ROI, people that get an ROI instantaneously, people that make more money with 5,000 Instagram followers and then have 1.5 million Instagram followers. Like it's not even close. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But what I can say is it's less about the hours that you put in and more about how many hours you put in consistently week after week after week after week. Like if you only have 5 hours to give a week, okay, what's going to happen when you spend an entire year of giving 5 hours a week, which you have never done in a marketing capacity this business ever once, right? It completely and fundamentally changes it. So what ends up happening is, you know, you start out giving those 5 hours a week, and right about the time you're going to quit, there's going to be some sort of a win. And it might be a big sale, or you might get featured in a magazine, or somebody from high school might call you and be like, oh my God, I saw your work. It's incredible. It always ends up happening inevitably. And it like fills up the entrepreneurial gas tank. And the next thing you know, you're giving me 7.5 hours a week, right? You're giving me 5 before, but you're giving me 7.5 because your emotional gas tank got filled up, right? It almost happens like that, like every single solitary time to every single solitary person at a different point. And then the hours just keep ratcheting up to the point where, like, how big do you want the business to be, you know?
And people that are devoid of marketing sense, as my wife informs me I am.
Yes.
And I concur.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm a school teacher. So I really don't get that stuff.
Yeah.
And you walk people through that. That is part of the...
Not only do we walk you through it, the walking through never stops. Like you need to see a demo, but we have Zoom sessions like this for our customers every Tuesday, Thursday, in perpetuity. It never stops. Never, ever, ever stops. Because they move the goalposts in marketing, right? And it's just what you have to learn. Like, you know, it's what we've accurately identified is the state of this industry and where it will remain, right? And the reality is that artists and photographers are solopreneurs. You are responsible for creating. After you're done creating, you are also responsible for going out marketing and selling. And if you do so, you'll be successful. That's it. That's literally all it comes down to. If you don't, then you're stuck either In exploitative gallery relationships, if you can get in 50-50 split, you don't keep your customer, or uploading to the marketplaces with everyone else where, you know, the people that make it a success out of that are like 1 out of 1,000 maybe, right? That actually like bring in like substantive income. So it to us feels like it's the only single solitary path, sales pitch aside, whether you ever took our advice or not. It's the only way you're going to make it. It's the only way you do make it in this business. And the opportunity is fantastic when you do, but you can't shortcut the market, and you're going to have to learn, right? You're going to have to learn. It becomes fun in time, though. What kind of stuff do you shoot?
A variety. You can go to my site.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Yeah.
My last name with photo in it.
Yeah. There's
and I think I've shown it to you.
There's quite a few. You've already talked to somebody?
Yeah, I think I've spoken with you, and you went through my site.
I don't know if it was me. I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, we can definitely help you. Okay. And you should definitely see the demo if you haven't seen the demo. If you want, we can have our people reach out so you don't have to fill out.
I probably need to go back and do that. Okay.
Don't even worry about it. We'll find your record and we'll have them contact you. Sort of one of the things I'm doing recently is saying, like, you know, I realize we have a website, right? We have a website just like you guys need a website, because there's lots of times when you're not going to be around to be there and help people out. But I feel like asking people to fill out a form in today's day and age is such a pain in the butt, right? I would much rather just say, like, look, don't worry about it. I'm going to have somebody contact you. You don't have to do anything, James. Just go on about your day with those comfortable looking headphones and we'll take care of the rest, right? That's how it should be. But yeah,
Sounds good. Good, Patrick.
Yep, we'll get in touch. Okay. Jane's back. All right, Jane, let's go. You'll need to unmute again. I'll let you know when you get it, Jane. It's that same, yep,
I
gotcha
may have
now.
missed something here, but say we follow, anyone follows your advice, makes this really charming video showing your work. You know, the work looks great, everything's copacetic. Okay, and so you post it on YouTube and it's on what do you call
Facebook
it?
and Instagram.
Anyway, so you posted it on these different places. Then how do people know to find you?
Yep, that's it. There's the age-old chicken and egg problem there, right? So there's a couple of things, and here's what I would say to macro. Like, for most people, they're just getting started marketing, so they don't have a ton of people that are actually going to watch the thing live, and they don't have a ton of people that are going to find you on your own. Exactly like your art business currently, you have to do the work in terms of marketing and getting it out there. But for the live art shows in particular, one, you have an email list. You let your entire email list know when the show is going to be. You encourage the entire email list to get there. Then the show runs, and maybe some people show up live, and maybe they don't. Then everybody gets an email after the fact. Hey, you missed it. Here's the show. It was incredible. And then the thing ends, and then you go and do another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, because it is the future of how art and photography is sold. And lest you think I don't practice what I preach, do you have any idea how many days a week I'm live and how many times a day?
Thank you.
It's staggering. And sort of the analogy that I give, and I think it's such a good analogy, that the best way to sell art or photography, okay, for every single solitary person in this call, it would be if you had your own art gallery in town, right? Where I could come down on Main Street, where I could come down, pop right into the gallery, see all of your work. You would be in there. I'd get to know you. We'd bond, and then maybe I'd take some art out that day. Okay. Well, if that's the case, why do I advise my customers to go live as often as I do? Why do I go as often as I do, which is all the time? And you realize after you do this for some period of time, your art business is just an art gallery that's inside the mall, okay? Do you know what the mall is? The mall is YouTube, and the mall is Facebook, and the mall is Instagram, okay? And do you know why people decide to rent a place in the mall? Yes, they need a location, but B, because in addition to the people that would come and see you anyway, you'd benefit from the serendipity of people that are in the mall for other reasons, okay? And what do I mean by that? There's people that are going into the mall to meet their girlfriends for lunch. There's people that are going in the mall to buy a suit for a wedding that's coming up. There's the people that are going into the mall to look in the pet shop and maybe come home with a dog. And guess what happens when you go live? You're essentially opening your art gallery okay, in the mall, and you're benefiting out of that serendipity. There are people that are, instead of going to returning shoes and meeting their girlfriends, checking up on their family photos, right, of what's going on in the world. They're watching cat videos. They're doing whatever they're doing. The reality is that they came to the mall on their own time, okay, for whatever reason. The mall is Instagram, it's Facebook. And because you were going live and doing that broadcast, your doors are open. And serendipitously, people are going to walk in that you never saw before. And guess what? You never know when everyone's in the mall at all times. And so it sort of comes down to, how often do you have your doors open? How often do you have your doors open? And for most of you, your doors are never open. Your doors are closed 24/7 because you're not doing any marketing, right? So the live art show is powerful in that fashion. But, I go as far to say, Jane, like, I don't care if the only person that's watching is your mother or your significant other, right? Because they love you. That's how it starts at first, right? But you get better and you do more of them and you email it to your entire list and you have sales that are based on it. And, you guys are terrible at merchandising your work and talking about your work. No one ever does it. And this forces both of those opportunities. And you'd be amazed at how powerful it is. I mean, you saw CG earlier. How fired up was she, right? She wasn't doing anything. She did her first one. And now, like, look where her energy level's at. Now she needs to figure out how to get that thing up to YouTube so that she can send it to her entire list. But guess what's going to happen? She's going to get her collector list, everyone that's ever bought a piece of art from her. She's going to say, hey, guys, it was CG. I got challenged to run a live art show, and I ran it. Here it is if you want to see it, right? And she's going to send that to everybody. And everyone's going to be like, oh, my gosh, I totally forgot she existed. I totally forgot she sold art. I totally forgot she had art for sale. Look at some of these prices. And then they're going to forward the thing around, and she'll probably get a couple sales out of it. And then guess what? Energy level is up. And she'll do it again and again and again. She'll be in the top 1% of artists with marketing acumen that exist in today's day and age, because that's how powerful these live art shows are. And you just keep going. You keep going and going. You muted again, Jane, so I'll unmute you. Hold on. You look like you had a follow-up. If you do, you just have to unmute, Jane. I know it's sort of annoying.
Ask my question.
You got it? You're good?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, who else? Guys, questions? What kind of success do you see with pre-recorded video sales, not live? So Nikki was asking this. Here's the dirty little secret, okay? And I don't have any problem giving away the farm on these things because no one ever takes action. And okay, here's how the thing works. And I'll walk you through the whole thing from start to finish. Honestly, you should take notes on this because I'm giving away a playbook. You have a collector list, let's hope, right? A collector list are all of the people that have bought your art in the past, right? You email those folks on a Sunday and you say, hey guys, just want to let you know, I'm having a live art show this week, okay? I'm having a live art show this week, and the show's going to go live at Wednesday. Because you guys are collectors and you've supported me in the past, I want to give you a look at the show inventory before anyone else. And you send them the link to all of it on your webpage, okay? Then they get to see it before the show even starts, right? And I might as well get out of this, get into this. You don't need this to run the show, okay? But this is just going to help me punctuate it, so let me just find it, okay? So this is one of our newest features is I've developed with my programming team, these pages, and we call them live art show pages. They're very, very easy to create, right? And you take a folder of images, okay, and you drop them all at once, and it just takes this entire folder and it basically populates a grid of all the images, right? And this is my buddy. He's got the same last name as me, which is classic. We're not related, but he just took photos of all these photos, right? And this was inventory that he had that he used to do his traveling road shows with, right? And so this whole page gets sent to the collectors on Sunday, and they just start buying things. And the minute they buy things, a big red sold appears on it, okay? So it's already gone. Then you go and you run the show on Wednesday. And guess what? Doesn't matter to me how many people are on it live. Maybe 2 people are on it. Maybe 10 people are on it. It does not matter, okay? Does not matter to me. You get as many people on it as possible. Then the video to the show goes on the webpage, okay? And all the images are on here. You know which ones have sold. They're very easy to check out, and you send this to everybody that missed the show, which will be a whole bunch of different people. Rinse and repeat. That's how it goes. That's absolutely how it goes. Now, you can absolutely, early on be in a situation where you don't have your art up on a website because you don't have a website, or you're not proud of your website, or whatever the case may be. In those cases, you can just say, I take Venmo, take PayPal, and send check. I'll do COD. You want me to hand deliver, whatever you want me to do, and then you can do all of those. So that's what I would say. Did that answer it, Nikki? I don't know if you're still there. I forgot to unmute you. Let me see. I'm unmuting you, Nikki. Nikki Mulligan, if you have a follow up. I don't know if you do or if you don't. A lot of times I do this and they're like, I'm at work. I can't talk, which I totally get. Yeah, I believe it is CG. I believe it's on all ones. Okay, yeah, no worries. Nikki's saying thanks. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, what else? I don't know if I've ranted about the Q Thor. Yeah, I guess I did at the beginning, but biggest art selling time of the entire year is coming. All you have to do to be successful is show up. That's like the bar. Show up. Do some marketing beforehand and have a sale. This Q Thor can make all the difference in the world. And no, I'm getting a question. Does the size of the artwork matter? No, the size of the artwork does not matter. Feruza, you can do any size you have, right? Like, see how you go. You're going to be running hundreds of them, so don't stress about it. Just get one in the water. Don't worry about anything else. All right, Chris, I got you. You're next. And you'll need to unmute, Chris. You better not be driving, Chris. Don't be driving on me. Okay. As long as you're parked. You still have to unmute. Yep, gotcha.
Oh, I'm unmuted. I
Yeah.
didn't know you were ready for me yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I've been following these live chats for a long time. Finally got in here
Cool.
on the Zoom. Wanted to tell you first that the reason I was drawn to it was I found Megan because we went to the same college and she did the Jayhawk
She's cool.
series.
Yeah.
And I found a podcast with her in it, and I'm betting you guys probably put that on my radar because it popped up on my Facebook. And then after I liked it, I kept hearing from you. And, you know, if you would show more of her live auction, you'd probably get a lot more people interested because that's where I became a fan. My question is about the commissions. And you know, we don't have to get into how much, but you have a small commission on every sale, correct?
Yes.
What if it's something that comes in not through the website? Like if somebody in my local town calls me and says, hey, I want you to paint a mural, am I obligated?
Yeah, no. What most people do,
Okay.
what most people do is they just go around the system in those situations, straight up.
Well, but I wanted to know if that's permitted.
Yeah.
And then I'm very interested in NFTs. I'm learning a lot about that. Is that something that I would be obligated to?
So you can,
how does that work with you?
Yeah, you can throw them in the store already. We've got a couple of people that are doing that. You know, we don't have the ability to handle the whole transaction. So like you pick whatever marketplace you want for the NFTs, OpenSea or any of the rest of them, and then you just put the item in your store and you're good to go.
But if I'm doing that, do I have to give you a commission off of?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not.
Well,
that transaction doesn't happen on site, so you'd be totally good there too.
Right. So anything I do off site is not okay.
Yeah.
Very interested in what y'all do. I'm going to commit. I'm just waiting for a commission on a mural, and then I'm going to pony up the money. And
yeah, all good.
Yeah, I will join you soon, sir.
Love it. Love the shirt too. Yeah, and I mean, like, look, it's you know, you've got a bunch of things going on already, which is great, but you're like everyone else in this call. We all got to fix our marketing problem, and it's not. It's not going away.
But I need.
It never goes
I'm a
away.
marketing guy.
Yeah.
I'm a branding coach, but I need somebody to kick me in the butt and make me do it myself. I'm totally on board with this.
Yeah.
It's like being a lawyer and still having to hire an attorney when you go to court, you know?
100%. Totally good.
You guys are doing everything right, and that's why I'm going to join.
Awesome. Love it, Chris.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Yes, Nikki, you can. She's saying if we sell something privately or off the platform, can we still use the website to do the shipping? So if it's a scenario, Nikki, where it's like, you know, you want to sell a print or a limited edition, but it's a print, it's not the original, then you can just do what's called a wholesale order. And with the wholesale order, you essentially get wholesale pricing, and then you just put the shipping in however you see fit, and it goes directly to them. So that's how it is. Pretty easy. So that's super easy to do. And Chris, I see your interest. I see your situation in the demo. You have a time scheduled for Tuesday. Good, you're dialed. What else, guys? Questions? Any finals? Any finals before we cash in the chips and I go walk my dog who I can hear scratching incessantly on my door outside saying it's time, it's time, it's time. I know it's time, dog. I know it's time. But thanks. Today was a great session. And, you know, I mean it for every single solitary one of you. Do not ignore this fourth quarter. Do not. Okay. Whether you ever sign up with us or not, it's irrelevant. Like, you know, this is not a sales pitch. It is the one time of year, okay, to attempt to market and sell the art. And like, look, if the website's not in the cards for you, start with your Facebook page, run a live art show, right? Run a sale, do some marketing, email your list, do something, but don't let Q4 go where it just doesn't work. And, you know, we had, this was like totally like a, you know, like a gut punch to me a little bit. But on Friday, we had like sort of our Q4 kickoff for our customers. And it's like basically, it's a high level webinar where we run through the overview of what Q4 is going to look like, all the new website features, all these sales and like jazz that we had going on, right? And it was this cool big presentation. And in that presentation, okay, we ran a poll, and 80% of the people had never done Q4 marketing. 80%. And these are our customers, you know, 80% had never done Q4 marketing. Now, we've had like explosive growth this year. So we have a ton of new customers that have come on throughout the year, and this is literally going to be their first Q4 that they're going to do any marketing in. But I can't tell you guys, it is such a big deal. It is such a big deal. It is the number one time to attempt to be selling art. And like, we live in this world where, you know, you ever see the movie Jaws? You know, everyone saw it. It's a rhetorical question. Everyone's seen Jaws, where like the police detective is on the back of the boat and he's scooping the chum out to try and bring the shark to the surface. Every single solitary merchant and brand and store and this, that, and the other is out there throwing all of this stuff into the water to whip all of us consumers into a frenzy, give us all the dopamine hits that's going to come from like, buy, deal, buy. All you have to do is to make sure to water ski behind that, right? By getting your stuff up, getting a sale going, letting people know you exist, emailing whatever attention you have, and you know, if it's with us, yeah, we're gonna help you. We'll get you spun up and we'll get you going. Even if it's not, though, do something this Q4 that you didn't do before, because you stand the single solitary best chance at moving your products, moving your creativity. This Q4, it is the best time of year, full stop. So that's what I would say. It's the final rant. Trying to think if there's anything I forgot. Definitely get a demo. We're running a sale. What else? Sale ends in 11 days. I think we have a Q4 sale or whatever we're calling it. But yeah, that's it. My throat's killing me. I appreciate all you guys. See you on a future session. Have great days. Bye, Mark. Bye, James. Bye, Bill. Bye, Harris. All right. Thanks, guys.